Hey, I just wanted to provide a tiny little update on what I'm doing here in my life and on my channel at the moment, such as it is. Obviously, not super active. And for those of you interested in chess lessons, those are coming out on the Chess Dojo channel. I assume you know that, but if you didn't, now you do. So I'm still actively publishing chess videos over there and doing live streams of chess there. But what I wanted to talk about today briefly is this hobby slash passion of mine of writing raps. So if you have no interest, of course, I'm sorry. But anyway, I've been writing some raps, and I published one a week or two ago. My previous video, I think, called Fascism, and it's the first one in a series that I'm going to publish that comes from this new activity I'm doing. So basically, I discovered that here in Berkeley, there is a weekly hip-hop night, and it's called Flow Lounge, and it's organized by a group called HipHop for the Future, which is, as far as I can tell, a great group with great people leading and working in it. And if anybody's local, you should 100% check it out. It's at Cali's Sports Bar on Telegraph Avenue near the campus every Wednesday night between 8 p.m. and noon. And for those of you just out there, here's what it is. I mean, it's kind of like a chess club in a sense, but for rappers in some ways. Obviously, I'm not really much of a rapper, but I'm a rapper the way an 800 or 1200 is a chess player. I'm a non-professional person who has a hobby or activity that they enjoy. Anyway, it's a super cool spot. They have a really nice culture. They're very, very, very exceedingly welcoming. So two things that shocked me when I first went there. Number one, how welcoming and friendly and open everybody is. What a nice culture, microculture they've created for their space. And then number two, how good they are. I did not think that there would be a dozen or 24 rappers of that level gathered together just on a weekday evening at a random spot in Berkeley. For the chess players out there, it would be like walking into a chess club and there being multiple FIDE titled players hanging out, 10, 20 of them, and you're just in some random little town. You didn't know that your town had a bunch of players of that level. Of course, I'm not good enough to fully judge the level of other people, right? As I said, if I'm, for argument's sake, 1200 level at this, a 1200 couldn't go into a chess club, see people play, and tell you whether they are IMs or GMs based on their games. They could only tell you if they recognized the people's names or saw the title on a cross table or something like that. So I don't know for sure that these people are masters and grandmasters of rap, but it certainly felt like it to me. Like, they're incredibly good. One of the things that they do every week at the beginning and the end of the night is Cypher, which is mostly freestyle. I think a few people try out little bits of writtens here and there. I hear occasionally some things, that I recognize kind of like as maybe material that they're working on and trying out a couple times. Or it'll be varied, but it's got a couple rhymes that I think they may have had a couple of those rhymes playing. I don't know. But maybe 90% of it or something like that is just absolute freestyle. They'll just say, oh, look, here's somebody in a red shirt and, so-and-so just dropped their drink and whatever. So it's clear that they can make up both rhymes and flows, which for those who don't know is kind of like the rhyme scheme or pattern is how you set up sort of sounds that are similar within the structure of your text, and the flow is kind of how you set up the rhythm the rhythmic structure within your text, right? So they're coming up with interesting rhymes and flows on the spot at fast pace, all kinds of stuff. It's mind-blowing to witness it, so it's really cool. Not really in a discouraging way, maybe a mildly discouraging way, in the sense that you see it and you don't think like, oh yeah, I could learn to do that. You think like, I could never do that, but still super cool. And another portion of the night is that they have a writing contest every week where they give out a topic, 2 different beats. You're supposed to write 1 verse to each beat on that topic. That's the part that I feel minutely qualified to participate in, so that's what I've been participating in. And another piece of almost every night is that they have some, special performers come in and sometimes they've got 4 different acts in a single night that they have signed up, 4 or 5 acts that they'll have signed up, who come in and give some special performances. So overall, it's super cool. Fun place. They've got an incredible DJ Lex, so it just, it sounds good all night. It's real fun. You can dance if you don't want to rap or you don't want to listen, or it's hard to listen to good music for 4 hours without moving your body. Anyway, the relevant part to me and my channel is that basically I'm taking this weekly topic as kind of as an impetus to do a little bit more writing, and just like having a little exercise every week. It's hard for me to do it every week because I don't have that much time for writing. But I've been pretty much able to do it for 5 or 6 weeks. So that's what's coming next, is I'm going to be publishing more of these little pieces that I've written. Obviously, they're going to be even rougher than what you might normally expect from me, because they'll be written in, between 1 and 5 hours maybe of work. And because they'll have been written, that week, I won't have practiced them very many times. I won't have memorized them. I'm going to be, for the most part, I'm going to be reading these texts off of my screen instead of just performing them. And similarly, when I go to the Flow Lounge and perform my pieces there, I'm generally like reading them off of my notebook or my phone as I perform it, because I can't memorize it in that amount of time. And 1 week I wrote my text the very first day of the week, because I knew what the topic was. I was hooked up with the topics and everything. So I wrote it, and then I recorded a demo version of it, and I listened to it in my car for a week to try and memorize it. And then I went into the lounge, and I went up without my notebook or anything, and I tried to just do it. And I got like halfway through the verse and blanked out and missed a bunch of good lines, or whatever, good lines. Good lines. And now I'm back to bringing my text up with me. So it's largely a written exercise. It's also, one of the points of going there is it's an exercise in performing. I don't hold the mic correctly, so nobody can hear me when I'm performing. So it's just getting some practice, working on, holding the microphone, being on the stage, not being too nervous, not being too scared, and just not worrying too much what people think of you. Obviously, everyone thinks something about what people think of them. I hope that I'm being respectful. I hope that I'm not wasting people's time by making them listen to me or taking up space on the stage that should go to somebody else. I do think and worry about some of those things sometimes, but I'm doing a sort of performance that I know is not at a high level, and I'm doing it without thinking like, oh, I'm so humiliated by being bad. No, you just go out and try it, right? Like if I were 1200 at chess, I would still play chess games even though I'm hanging pieces. Um, so part of it is just, getting used to doing such a thing in public, putting myself out there and not worrying about it too much. And although I will maybe say what might be construed as self-deprecating things about my skill level, I think I'm just being realistic about the fact that I'm sort of a beginner, intermediate, or whatever. I'm not trying to put myself down or hating what I do. I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. I'm not trying to be falsely modest either. Just listen to somebody good and you can see the difference. Go to Flow Lounge someday and you'll hear some really good people. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be publishing a bunch more of them. And so my big hope is to be able to get some kind of criticism because I want to improve it, and I'm not trying to become a grandmaster or a great rapper or professional rapper, but I enjoy it. And just like a lot of people who enjoy chess, try to get a bit better at chess, even if they're not going to become grandmasters or challenge Magnus Carlsen one day. I know I'm not going to be challenging anyone any day, but I enjoy working at it, thinking about it, and trying to get better. So I'm trying to get better. So the number one thing that I'm hoping for here is any useful feedback, constructive tips on the writing, the delivery, the structure, anything that I can use to get a little bit better. So I'm not looking for comments about that was awesome or about that was trash. Like, it has to be a little more something like, this one word I think was badly chosen, or on this line your rhythm feels weird and maybe you could line it up better with this, or maybe you could just change the delivery or something like that. So that's what I'm hoping to get. Of course, you all do you. Trash me or love me if you want to. And and one last note. In theory, the writing task is to make 2 verses, and they'll be on separate beats. Sometimes I will upload a video where I just do 2 verses, one on 2 different beats, like the assignment. But in many cases, I'm inspired to try and make sort of a full song out of the task. So sometimes I'll also have written a chorus or hook to go between the verses. Often I'll end up writing 3 verses instead of 2 verses, and make it into more of a song. And then I might just put it on one beat instead of 2 different beats as I try to make it into sort of a full song. In my writing process, sometimes I'm just inspired. Sometimes I put out a bunch of different pieces and I just jot down a bunch of ideas and brainstorm, and I've got a bunch of couplets or 4 lines that go together, and then slowly I piece it together, and then I might find out I have enough material for 1.5 verses or 3 verses or 2 verses or 1 verse and need to keep working. So yeah. All right. Hope everybody's doing great. Wish you all a great day. And I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I recommend that everybody have something out there that they enjoy doing and spend some time doing it. Find other people who are into it that you can maybe talk about it with, and that increases the enjoyment tenfold. So whether you're going to a chess club or a rap club or an improv club or a book club, I hope you all have something that you really enjoy in your lives.